What's up YouTube, Saf here on Super Saf TV, and it's that time of year again. The new iPhones are just around the corner and the leaks and rumors are starting to heat up. So like every year, what we'll be doing in this video is rounding up all of those rumors and leaks in one place to give you guys a better idea of what to expect. So let's get straight to it. So straight away, the important thing to remember is that we are going to be getting an incremental update this year. So we will be seeing the iPhone 6s as well as the iPhone 6s Plus, not the iPhone 7 unfortunately. So if you are expecting a drastic design change, then you might be a little bit disappointed. Now this is because Apple only introduce new designs every 2 years. So we'll have an incremental update this year like we had with the iPhone 4, then the 4S, as well as the iPhone 5 and the 5S. Now what that does mean is that if you're not a fan of those antenna bands, then you will have to just live with them for another year unfortunately, because they are very likely to stay and you're not going to be seeing much of a design change on the new iPhones. Maybe some minor tweaks here or there. There are some rumors saying that they will be slightly thicker, but generally speaking they will look and feel very similar. Now one design change that is rumored is actually on the inside, so you're not going to actually be seeing it, and this is to reinforce the new iPhones and hopefully get rid of that Bengay issue that we had last year. As well as that, the new material that's supposed to be used on the new iPhones is 7000 series aluminium or aluminum, wherever you're from, whatever you want to call it. And this is supposed to be 60% stronger than your standard alloys, so it should really reinforce the new iPhones. This is the same aluminium that they are using for the Apple Watch Sports. Now in terms of the options available, we are likely to see a new edition. So as well as gold, silver and space gray, we are likely to see a rose gold version. So not pink like some places you may have seen, but more of a rose gold version. So for the ladies out there, that should be a nice option. And we've seen this on the Apple Watch edition, so this is going to be a similar sort of style to that. Now moving on to the screen sizes, we are likely to see exactly the same screen sizes as we had last year, 4.7 inches for the iPhone 6s and 5.5 inches for the 6s Plus. So no real change in terms of the actual screen size. What we will be seeing a change in is actually the technology behind the screens. So this year we are likely to see Force Touch on the new iPhones. This is something that was once again introduced on the Apple Watches. It's basically a pressure sensitive display, which means that when you do press down harder, it's going to sense that and give you more options. So for instance, if you're in an app and you press down hard, then you'll be able to get some menu options and things like that. So definitely some improved functionality coming here. Now as well as the two standard size screens, we also like to see a 4-inch screen in the form of the iPhone 6C. So like we had with the iPhone 5S, we had the 5C, a plastic back version which will be a little bit cheaper than the iPhone 6S as well as the 6S Plus, and it'll be for those of you who want a smaller size device that's a little bit more comfortable to use with one hand, and there are a lot of people who prefer smaller size devices. Now this is most likely going to be having the specs of previous iPhones, so the iPhone 6 specs, maybe even the iPhone 5S specs. I would predict that it would have the iPhone 6 specs, just at a smaller screen size and at a little lower price. Now what about the resolutions of the new iPhones? Well, there are some rumors pointing towards a Quad HD display for the iPhone 6s Plus and a Full HD display for the iPhone 6s. Now I don't think that's actually going to be happening because Apple have been very consistent in saying that their Retina display is more pixels than you need at a normal viewing distance, and I very much doubt they're going to be changing the resolution of both iPhones, especially with the impact on battery life that it would have. So expect to see the same resolution on both iPhones, full 1080p on the iPhone 6s Plus, and on the iPhone 6s 1334 by 750. Now let's talk a little bit more about the internals. What's going to be powering these new iPhones? It's going to be the Apple A9 chip. This is going to be 64 bits. Now we're not sure of the exact clock speed, whether it's going to be dual core, whether it's going to be upgraded to quad core, or even if we're going to see a triple core version. But no doubt in terms of performance, these iPhones are going to be right up there as they have been over the previous years. In terms of the competition, they are going to be fast, smooth and snappy. There's no doubt about that. One upgrade that we are very likely to see is 2 GB of RAM on these new iPhones rather than the standard 1 GB. Now this will really really help towards the multitasking, and this is something that we're doing more and more of these days. Now, what about the storage versions? Well, with the iPhone 6 and the 6 Plus, we still had that base model of 16 gigabytes. That was very disappointing for a lot of people. It especially was disappointing for myself. Having 16 gigabytes as a base model in this year is definitely quite low, especially with the amount of images and videos we take. This is said to be upgraded to a base model of 32 gigabytes, so we'll be seeing 32, 64 and 128 gigabyte variants for the new iPhones, and that will definitely be a welcome change from everyone, and hopefully we'll be avoiding situations like this going forward. Okay, yeah, everyone ready? Yep, come on, all right, get together. Okay, all right, smile. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Oh crap, I'm out of memory again. Oh, hold on, let me just delete a few things. Hold on. Now let's move on to the most interesting part. What about the cameras? How are they going to be updated? Well, we'll likely see 12 megapixels this time. We've had 8 megapixels for a very long time with improved sensors, but this time we're going to be seeing an improved sensor but with 12 megapixels, so this should definitely help getting some larger, more detailed images. iPhone cameras have been very consistent in being some of the top cameras out there, so no doubt you're going to be getting some great quality images. In terms of video, there are some rumors saying 4K video. I personally doubt this. I think Apple are going to hold 4K for the iPhone 7, so we'll be seeing 1080. We might be seeing an update in terms of the slow motion. So slow motion is a big selling factor for the camera of the iPhones. They do them the best, and we are likely to possibly see a 1080p slow motion version. This is a possibility, it's not confirmed yet, but that would definitely be nice to see. Now, last year we had the iPhone 6 Plus with optical image stabilization. The iPhone 6 did not have optical image stabilization, unfortunately. I think this is also going to be the case this time around, just to give the iPhone 6s Plus some more separation. So the iPhone 6s is not likely to have optical image stabilization. It may have, but I don't think it's likely. Now, what about the front-facing cameras? We all know how popular selfies are these days, and iPhones are usually the most popular selfie smartphones out there, with most front-facing images being taken with the iPhones. Now, the problem is that they are just 1.2 megapixels right now at 720p, and they have been for some time. This is something that we're likely to see an update on finally, and I'll definitely welcome this change. And in terms of resolution, we're looking at between 2 to 5 megapixels. Now, we're not too sure exactly what the resolution will be. It will definitely be more than the 1.2 megapixels that we have currently, and we should also be seeing 1080p from the front-facing camera, which will definitely be welcome with the vlogging culture that we have these days. More and more people are using their front-facing camera for images as well as videos. Now, in terms of software and additional features, we will be seeing iOS 9, so it'll be the latest version of iOS. Now, this will be fully optimized for the new iPhone, so you don't have to worry about speed and performance. In terms of all the new features of iOS 9, those have been covered in plenty of other videos on YouTube, so I won't be going into too much detail here. About additional features, we will be seeing Touch ID, an improved version of Touch ID. This will still remain in the home button this time around anyway. There's some rumors of Apple incorporating a fingerprint scanner within the screen, but not likely to see that this year, possibly for the iPhone 7. Touch ID is already one of the best, if not the best, fingerprint scanner on any smartphone out there. Improving this is only a good thing, and with the push on Apple Pay, this should definitely be useful. Now, what about the batteries? Well, because the design and the build of the smartphones are going to be relatively the same, we can't expect too much of an increase in the size of the batteries. I mean, from the iPhone 5 to the iPhone 5s, we did have a slight increase, and Apple achieved this by minimizing the size of the rest of the components. So this is likely to happen this time around as well, but don't expect a drastic increase in the size of the batteries of the 6S and the 6S Plus. In terms of the usage of the batteries, this is said to be improved through optimization, so expect roughly about 10 to 20% more battery life with your new iPhones. Now, wireless charging is still looking a little bit unlikely this year. We might be seeing it next year, and fast charging is also a possibility. This is something that we're seeing on many of the devices, especially with the iPhone 6 Plus. With the charger that comes out of the box, it is pretty slow, and you can use the iPad charger to get some faster charging on the iPhone 6 Plus. But if they were to include a charger like this, a fast adaptive charger with the new iPhones, then that will definitely be beneficial. It's not confirmed as yet, however. Now, what about the pricing? Well, expect your standard pricing that we have had for the different models. The only advantage that we're going to have this time around is that the base model will be 32 gigabytes instead of 16 gigabytes, so you'll be paying the same price for a a larger storage version, which should be very good. In terms of contract pricing, standard flagship contract prices will apply. Now, when can you get hold of the new iPhones? Well, Apple usually announces their new devices in September, the new iPhones in September, with a release in September as well. Last year we had the 9th of September for the announcement and the 19th of September for the release. Now, Apple usually always release their iPhones on a Friday, so this year it's likely to be on the 18th of September, with the announcement coming 10 days before, which will be around about the 8th of September. So those are the dates that you need to put into your diaries. So there we have it, the final leaks and rumors of the iPhone 6s as well as the iPhone 6s Plus. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then please do hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does help me out. And if you do want to see some hands-on coverage of the new iPhones as soon as they are released on the day of release, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, because I'll have plenty of coverage on there, including in-depth camera comparisons with the flagships out there. I know a lot of you like to see those, and the most popular camera comparisons on YouTube are right here on SuperSaf TV, so make sure you have subscribed. What are your thoughts on the new iPhones? Are you looking forward to them? What features are you looking forward to most? Drop those in the comment section below. It'll be nice to know what you guys think as well. You can see my previous related video linked here in the annotation somewhere. You can also stay in touch with me over social media, where I'll be sharing more updates as and when they come out. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf TV, and I'll see you next time.